Yeah, hello and welcome to our bonus episode where we're going to try and do one of these every couple of weeks, where it's not going to be as structured. So I suppose, like they say on other podcasts, a loose fit episode. And for our first one, we thought that'd be good because instead of, like, we're not going to have a website, or at least we don't at the moment. So where you have that little bit on the website where it's like the about us thing, and like with our podcast, which is the Monday morning mixtape, is all about like different styles of music, and it's going to be lots of different articles and small little pieces about bands. But so it's probably good to know what kind of music we listen to and what we're into and who we are.
Getting to know
because we're like a couple of different kind of, like, you have myself, Wayne, you have Laura, and Mark, and Jen, who isn't here today. But like, I think we all come from different places with music and what our musical kind of like tastes are. Where like Mark is like the biggest Gunship fan you're ever going to meet. And it's so much so that he's after getting me into it a lot. I kind of really like Gunship now.
I Clockwork Orange you, where I just sat down and I just stuck you to a chair for a good 12 hours and played Gunship at you. I was like, do you hear the nuanced creativity?
Yeah, and that's a very good point. There is a lot of nuanced creativity.
It's not derivative.
Yeah. But it's what, yeah, that's echoing back to derivative time in our lives. But yeah, I suppose it's the whole thing with this. Like, Art, you're probably into vastly different music from us, but not too different, because you're younger as well. You're into kind of like, I suppose, more modern music
stuff from this century as opposed to the 15th and 16th centuries.
Yeah, because, I know you two are into, the classical compositions of
Baroque.
Bach.
Yes.
And
Sebastian Bach.
Yes. Savage animal.
You say his name right, damn it.
Slave to the grind.
But I suppose, for me anyway, I would definitely have different kind of taste in music than you. I know your kind of taste in music tend to go kind
suck.
I was just going to say tend to go much heavier and darker than mine, but even with that, my tastes are pretty kind of wide, which is something that fucking everyone says, but still is true. It's like such that like happy like dream girl kind of thing. It's like, oh, I love every kind of music. It's like, really? Do you like this? Well, no, not that, but everything else.
Everything else but that.
But yeah.
So, what would be your favorite band at the moment?
At the moment, well, just before Corona went out, and I
thought you were going to say there's a great band called Corona. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's fucking
bad timing.
Fucking after causing so much trouble around the world.
They were about to sign their contracts, and then they were like, "Oh no, wait, lads, you have to change your name." No, our name is central to our gig. Then you're not getting into. It's like, and we missed out on some great music from Corona and the boys.
But you know what? Actually, it'd be like everyone is talking about Corona right now. That Corona is so hot.
Not in a good way, though. It was like that time.
It's kind of destroying industries, like the Corona beer and airlines and cruise ships and tourism.
It'd be like if someone had a bright idea saying, hey, what's a fucking great song is that Lost Prophet song. Well, let's cover that.
Yeah.
There's no negative connotations of Lost Prophet.
That's true. I hear the lead singer's a really cool guy. He's great with kids.
Yeah.
It'd be like if globalization was a thing during the famine. It's like, hey, what will we name our thing? It's like, how would we call it? Hey, Paddy, want a potato?
Do you know how often I get asked that? Currently.
Do you want a potato?
I not even that. It's just like, potatoes. And I'm like, trying to come closer so I can fucking punch you cunt.
You should just respond, Laura, with Chuck Your Law. And they're like, what? Oh, sorry, I sneezed.
Yeah, but music. Yes. So, Mark, what's your favourite band?
As I was saying, I've started going back, and I was getting really looking forward to one of the next kind of concerts I'm going to is this. This year for me was hopefully it still remains that way because they haven't been fully cancelled yet. Was supposed to be kind of a nostalgic tour where I was going to go see My Chemical Romance, Green Day, Weezer, and Fall Out Boy. So I was really listening to a lot of them recently because like they were big influences in my kind of teenage years, and with them coming back doing these tours in Ireland, I was like, definitely definitely. And now that they're not going there, it's almost kind of like the equivalent of playing those sad love songs when you break up with someone. But I'm just playing their albums, going, "This reminds me so much of them."
It's probably because it is them.
Strange that, I know, but
You're like, oh, My Chemical Romance. Oh, well, I never thought that you were into them.
An MCR fan, my God.
Ah. So sell us My Chemical Romance.
Sell you My Chemical Romance.
Yeah. Why should I go off and kind of like demean myself if I listen to My Chemical Romance? Actually, fucking joking. I thought their first album was actually fairly good. I thought that Helena song was really, really good. And was it? I'm Not Okay. That was actually good as well.
Yeah, that's kind of where I would have been with it as well. Like, I wouldn't have been the biggest My Chemical Romance fan, but I would have loved a lot of their songs. And since this is a best of tour, it's pretty much going to be all the songs I liked as a teenager from them. So it's a win-win. If they were still touring around going, "Hey, we have a new album," and I listen to the album, I'd be like, "I'm good, thanks." But cheers for the invite.
Yeah.
Go back to writing,
You should go back to your own country.
Stop coughing on me.
My Chemical Romance greeted by racism everywhere they went for some unknown reason. But they like changed. I remember because like the first album, they were like, there's kind of a bit of I don't know if it was just because of that kind of like I'm Not Okay kind of thing. There was a bit of like Animal House vibe to them. I don't know if there was that strange where it was like punk rock heavy, but there was some kind of 1950s rock and roll vibe there. I thought there were. Then Black Parade came along. I didn't like that at all.
I thought that was
I really liked that one. But
I thought that was okay.
I thought that was a really good hit.
Quite
Again, I think it's taken on a life of its own now since then, but especially when it came out and just right around after it, it was a really good song. And to this day, it's a really good song. It just has a lot of meme connotation to it around now as well.
So with Green Day, what would be your favorite Green Day album? I think this says a lot about a person and their age.
It would be American Idiot, because that would have been the first one I actually got fully. I had like singles from them from beforehand. But that one was the first one I really, really got into, and was like where I'd play it from the start and just listen through it again and again, and go through the album art and lyrics in the actual CD booklet and all that.
Well, the thing with Green Day, I think why I was asking it is because they've been around for so long. I think everyone's favorite album is going to be from when they were a certain age, because mine would be Ducky. For when they came out, because we would have been like a teenager when it came out. Although then I do think that their albums kind of like generally got worse as they went on.
I have an abiding memory of playing For My Family, and they did not get the song that I was playing. No, I was alone. I was all by myself. No one was looking. I was thinking of you. And they're like, "That's a lovely song." And I was like,
"You silly
have you not heard the words to this? It's about masturbation."
Although I have to say, I did for The Offspring at the time. The Offspring were better music. Although, like, I mean, it's hard to say kind of like better, because like the two albums are fucking like smash. I think I don't know, Smash I think is a bit more of a complex album. But like, I mean, fucking Ducky I think is like a Beatles album.
It's pop perfection. Is what it is.
It is. It's kind of like American Idiot seemed to be the one that kind of like got back.
Proper broke him again.
I think, as well. Because they have like a ton of albums. I remember was it Insomnia? I can't remember the album after Ducky wasn't very good at all. And then they had, was American Idiot the one where they had a Boulevard of Broken Dreams on that as well, or would that have been before?
That was American Idiot.
Yeah, so like that was a massive album for them. I think that kind of broke them into the mainstream, where it's like rock and roll, kind of like Hall of Famers. With it.
I suppose on the same kind of question of like that, another band I think which would have a similar kind of question you asked, Wayne, would be Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, I fucking can't stand them.
I did like them years and years ago.
No, I like Blood Sugar Sex Magic
yeah.
because it was slightly different at the time.
Yeah.
But
After that, though, once I got into the whole Californication thing and all the rest, I was like, no, you can fuck right off.
No, even
that's when I really ended up liking them. So when they pissed you off, they really it worked for me.
See, even the whole thing, there was that whole thing going on between them and Mr. Bungle, one of Mike Patton's bands, where they were like, oh, Mike Patton is just kind of like stealing from us, and blocked Faith No More and Mr. Bungle from playing at any festivals that they were playing at. Whereas
and you're like, you can fuck off.
Junkie Anthony Kiedis was an asshole.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah, but I never really liked the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, I listened to Blood Sugar Sex Magik a lot when you're under kind of protest, and I was like, oh, it's not too bad. But at the same time, I was listening to like Pantera's Far Beyond Driven, and it was kind of like, funnily enough, fucking Pantera won out in the end. I'm not saying that they're a bad band. Like, obviously, kind of like loads of people can't be.
Give it away now.
Well, they're not a bad band, but that's not to say a lot of people can be wrong about something. Just because there's a group behind you doesn't mean you're correct.
Nazi Germany.
Yeah. Don't say they're wrong.
This is going on the internet, so Laura's right. If we didn't say it, someone was going to say it. I know we don't have a comment section.
Razor's Occam and all that,
but they'd still find a way to go, you know what?
Occam's
you're all
razor
Nazis because you said this. So Nazis
how did we manage to sneak Nazis?
Because it always happens. That's it. And I said Razor's Occam.
And the thing is, we're probably talking about some bands that probably do have some kind of like racist affiliation over it, like, with black metal and stuff like that. And we won't even bring it up about it. But yet we talk about Red Hot Chili Peppers and like, oh, Nazis. I got Nazis.
Terrible. Red Hot Chili Peppers remind me of Nazi Germany.
But you like are you a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan? Or is it just
going to say are you a Nazi?
Do you like the Nazis?
Don't be silly. Yeah. Be a smarty. Come enjoy the Nazi.
But that's a musical.
Yes, that's the producers. But no, I really would have been as a teenager. Now they've not been one of my favorite bands for a long time now. I wouldn't really listen to any of their newer stuff. I wouldn't even really listen to them that much for the stuff I really liked then. The only reason I brought it up was I found previously when I was talking about it that a lot of people were very similar to what you were saying about Green Day. They kind of, the album that they latched onto, they were like, that's the best one, and then everything else was hot garbage after that.
Yeah.
See, I think the thing was with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, they do everything that they've done has sounded the same since Californication.
So I kind of liked them up until the kind of Dave Navarro played with them for a while, and I kind of thought, it's kind of.
I liked Dave Navarro. They did some kind of like heavy, weird shit.
That's what I was going to say. I liked him up until they played with him, and then once he left, everything after that kind of fell apart, and I thought they were really shit after that, and I was like, you can fuck off now.
They were all kind of like, we're reformed characters now. We're more chilled. We're kind of like surfer dudes, as opposed to before being kind of like a little bit wild and wacky.
Exactly. So after he was in the band and after he was out of the band, then after that was just like, you
David
guys
Navarro was a fucking excellent guitar player. Actually, he doesn't get enough dues for stuff at all. Like some of the stuff that he did with Jane's Addiction.
Orange juice.
We're just trying to get off the Nazis.
Because he always called orange juice. I'm sure he wants something a bit harder than orange juice.
Kind of like stores his container full of Jews. And he's like, I didn't ask for him. This is just what Nikita's pays people with.
I was thinking Capri Suns.
I can't say no because of the implication.
Because of the implication. But
I suppose one like a kind of question I might like crystallize what you guys are really into. What's your favorite song? What's the song you keep listening to on Spotify at the moment?
Sunshine and Lollipops.
Okay, fair enough.
You actually put on Who Likes Short Shorts on me today.
I wear short shorts.
Which really annoyed me.
Oh no, I try and. Before I used to be, Laura I think is much more inclined to play the same stuff over and over and over and over again.
Think I
Laura
actually
likes stuff you like zone in on it, whereas before I used to be like that. The last few years I can't listen to the same thing too much. I do sometimes if I want to get into an album, like sometimes you get like who we would have talked about Grin. Like obviously I listened to their album quite a lot because it was quite new, and as well because I only discovered them and I was like, my God, these are really great. But the album is fairly complex. It's accessible, but it's kind of complex. There's a lot of layers to it. You have to listen to it a few times to start kind of like hearing them, and then you're like, my God, like there's so much going on with it. But like, I don't know, lately. been listened to a lot. It actually surprisingly Gunship, Perturbator. I listen to quite a lot.
I listen to a lot of stuff like Grimes and stuff like that.
Grimes, yeah. Let's do a lot more electronic kind of music.